As always, we are happy to have you back for another edition of Marble Fubeca. I am Ricochet here for MSPN's coverage as we welcome you to another funnel race. Funnels are huge here on Marble Fubeca, and once again, we've got those here on our course. 5 funnels here for today's matchup, and then one of my favorite additions to these tournaments and one of my favorite aspects of these courses. Right there, you see that large grid where a lot of decisions have to be made right up towards the starting gates. For our tournament today, 16 teams as always. And for me, it's a pleasure to see so many fans here in attendance today among all the different teams, and even some that are not representing specific teams who have made their way to today's event. On the left side of your screen, you see the 2019 team statistics for our different countries. Russia, Brazil, and England right now in our medal spots. And now we get a chance to meet the countries. The Netherlands, Portugal, Vietnam, and India in the bottom left quadrant. And then it's the United States, the Ivory Coast, Russia, and France. And on the right side of the bracket, it's Chile, Colombia, Italy, and Mexico. And then Indonesia, who's become a fan favorite, along with Argentina, Spain, and Brazil. No Mexico for today's tournament, which is a little bit different. And now we give you our first matchup. It's the Netherlands against Portugal. Goal will be to get down to the bottom first, and there is that large grid where decisions have to be made. Right now, the lead belongs to the Netherlands, getting through a little bit quicker. Here comes Portugal, and Portugal is going to push the Netherlands into the funnels. They're down through the first. You got to get through 5 funnels. Whoever gets to the bottom first is going to have the lead, and Portugal trying to make that pass. They do. They get to 3 first. Here comes the Netherlands. They'll try to answer back. They do. They're going to pass them up. They're into number 4. Portugal needs to hurry up. They're in a little bit of trouble. Oh, they look like the Netherlands was through, but they got pushed back up. And Portugal retakes the lead. The Netherlands gets down first. They will take the win. Back and forth they went, and the Netherlands gets the win at 37-20, just ahead of 43 seconds even, a near 6-second win for the Netherlands as they get into the second round. An exciting matchup here to start, as Spain will now take on Brazil. Brazil, one of the favorites as always. But right now it's Spain in the lead. Brazil makes that pass. Now they're side by side again. And Spain's in some trouble. Oh, now they get back out. Wow, it looked for a second like Spain might get disqualified, but they get back out, give themselves a chance. They're still about a funnel behind. Oh, now there's a whole funnel in between the two. Spain is in funnel 3. Brazil is just now getting out of funnel 4. It's a 1 funnel lead. That's a big lead to make up if you're Spain. Gotta hurry. Brazil circling around, and just as Spain got to funnel 5, Brazil dipped out, and they'll take the win with a time of 38:01. Nearly 7 seconds later, Spain finishes with a time of 45 seconds even. Just fell too far behind to that opening grid. Made it too difficult to come back from. As Russia will take on France now. Virtually no chance for Spain to make that comeback all the way. As Russia and France sharing blows, trading them back and forth. Now both are slowing a little. Russia's got the lead. France trying to get out of there, still having a hard time doing so, but they very quickly get through the first funnel. And that lead has slowed again. And they're both into the same funnel, both into funnel 4 now. Russia trying to retake that advantage. They will. But they're both in the funnel again. Here comes France at the last moment. France is going to go the left side and take the win. Winning it by just under 5 seconds over Russia. A come-from-behind win for France, who did not lead for virtually any of that matchup. But they're able to take the win and set up our next matchup, which is Chile against Colombia. And they are side by side, following each other. Oh, some contact there between Colombia and Chile. More contact, and it's Colombia that comes out first. In the second funnel, still in the first is Chile. Now they even back up, and retaking the lead is Colombia. Once again, they're in the same funnel. Look at that pass by Chile to take the lead. They're in funnel 4. So is Colombia. Colombia gets down to funnel 5. They've got the advantage now. Who can get in at the end? It's going to be Colombia taking the win. Back and forth battle there, and it goes the way of Colombia as Vietnam takes on India now. Impressive resolve there from those teams. Not giving up. Vietnam's got the early lead, and it's a pretty big advantage right now. But anything can happen, and maybe some contact there. And now look at this. Here comes India. They almost took the lead, but can't quite. And so Vietnam into the second funnel. So is India now. India's going to get through first. They're down to funnel 3. Now they're both in funnel 3. Vietnam will make the pass back up, down to funnel 4. They're once again even. This time it's India that again will take the pass. Here comes Vietnam. Who gets the advantage? It is Vietnam who's going to get the win. And India will finish on the other side of the course just under 3 seconds later. So now Indonesia against Argentina. Indonesia has struggled in the most recent events, but they have become a fan favorite. As they will take on the Argentines. A lot of contact there. Both the marbles seem to slow a little bit. And right now, a fairly large advantage, which will belong to Indonesia. Argentina still trying to get into the funnel. They are nearly stopped, but they are able to get into the funnel and maybe make back some of that time. Indonesia has the lead, but they're both in funnel number 2 now. And it's still Indonesia. Indonesia's down to 4. Here comes Argentina. We can make that last second pass. Here's Argentina to the lead. Indonesia has struggled recently. Trying to come back. They do. They get the win. A last second pass by Indonesia to take the win. And they will advance to the next round. Ultimately a pretty close matchup there. As now the United States, who will take on the Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast lost in the first round to Russia last time. The United States continuing to struggle recently. Side by side with the Ivory Coast, trading blows. In the lead right now is the United States. Oh, no, it's actually the Ivory Coast who gets out first, but now the U.S. gets through the first funnel. Now they're through the second funnel, through the third funnel, through the fourth funnel. Look at the moves by the United States. They are pulling ahead. A dominant effort here against the Ivory Coast, and the U.S. needs to finish off one more funnel. They've got a sizable lead, and now they've got the win. A time of 30-20. And the Ivory Coast running with a pretty respectable time themselves. They'll finish just under 40 seconds, 39-22. But that was 9 seconds later. So the U.S. with an easy win over the Ivory Coast. They made those funnels look incredibly easy. And now it's Italy against Mexico. Italy has had some success recently. Mexico, one of the powerhouses of this competition, as always. Making contact in the pass by Italy. And now Mexico repasses them up, and Italy slowing a little bit, but comes back pretty easily and will now retake the lead. Going to that second funnel, look at the speed on the Mexican marble. Really picking it up there, putting it down, and not enough to take the lead as Italy holds on and moves to funnel 3. Now Mexico really putting the pressure on. It's still Italy in the lead. Mexico wondering what can they do to take the lead. There it is. They get the lead into funnel 5. And now to the final funnel. The speed of the Mexican marbles in the funnel, is it enough to get them the win? The answer is yes. They will take the win with a time of 44-15. Italy led almost from start to finish, but the speed in the funnels of Mexico was extremely impressive, and it was enough to get them the win. And it gets them the final spot in the quarterfinals, as the second round begins with Vietnam and the Netherlands. And it's Vietnam in the lead right now. Contact again. Now the Netherlands take the lead. Who gets to the funnel first? The answer will be the Netherlands, but they were pushed by Vietnam, and Vietnam gets through that first funnel. So they've got the lead. Now they're both in the second funnel. Vietnam pushes that lead back out again, trying to keep themselves in a separate funnel, and they do it again. Now they're down to funnel 4. They get through that one very quickly. Vietnam closing in on a semifinal appearance, and Vietnam, with one more funnel to get through and a pretty large lead, they're going to move on. As the Netherlands really had no chance after they had to get pushed into the funnel and got passed up very quickly, Vietnam had all the momentum and did not back down. The effort was there, but the results are not for the Netherlands, as Vietnam is moving on to the semifinals. They'll face one of our matchup winners, and it is Indonesia now against Brazil on the other side of the bracket. I believe it's the United States, their matchup, that would potentially take on that previous winner, as this is Indonesia and Brazil now. Indonesia making their way through the course. Brazil is right there. Brazil sees an opening and passes them and gets into the first funnel, and now through the first funnel with the lead. We've seen these teams match up a few times. Indonesia's had success, but right now, Brazil is making it look very easy. They've got 2 full funnels in between them. Indonesia's still in funnel 2, and Brazil is at the finish line with a time of 29:03. As Indonesia will now have to just finish this one out. A dominant win by Brazil. We saw that from the U.S. in the first round. And now in a matchup that has not had history on their side for Brazil, with Indonesia doing some damage against them in past tournaments, they go out and they dominate this one. They're going to win it by 25 seconds or so. And the time was 26:01 better. Nearly double them up as Brazil is into the semifinals. And now it is the United States against France. France beating out Russia, and the U.S. with the best run of the first round. Time was just over 32 seconds. That was just bested by Brazil, but the U.S. has the lead, and now they will hold on to the lead as France again struggling to get through into the funnels, and it's going to cost them. The U.S. again making quick work of the funnels. They've had a lot of success right now. They're in funnel 3. France is still in funnel 1. Now they're in funnel 4. Now they're down to funnel 5. What a matchup. The United States is going to win it again with a time of 29:03. And again, they just dominate their opponent. The Ivory Coast did a better job than France has done here. Largest margin of victory was 26:01. We just saw that. Brazil over Indonesia. Doesn't look like it'll be quite that big. As France will come across, it's still a 20-plus second win. And it's 23-12, ultimately, as the differential, as the United States is moving on. And they will take on Vietnam. And now Mexico and Colombia, and the winner gets Brazil. Boy, those were back-to-back really impressive runs by those two countries, the U.S. and by Brazil. And now we'll look and see if we get one of those here for the third straight time. Mexico and Colombia, they're very close with each other. A lot of contact. Mexico's through the first funnel. So is Colombia. What a move. Colombia takes the lead. Colombia's down to funnel 4. Colombia's to funnel 5. They're making it look easy. Mexico can do nothing but watch as Colombia is into the semis with a time of 23:05. That's about as fast as it's going to get. And a very quick time for Mexico. 27 seconds. But it's too little too late. Their tournament is over. As the United States will take on Vietnam. Those two fan bases sitting right next to each other in the stadium. And the U.S. very quickly again moving. Let's see what Vietnam can do to try to combat that. Made some contact, and the United States will say thank you very much. But Vietnam will say thank you very much. They're going to take the lead against the U.S., who gets into funnel 2. Now the United States has the lead back. USA or Vietnam, who gets the win? They're in funnels 2 and 3. Now they're both in 3. And Vietnam makes the pass on the United States. Vietnam is in funnel 4. The U.S. answers back. The U.S. and Vietnam both in funnel 5. Who gets around and through first? That's the question. Who's got the advantage? The United States makes the move. The U.S. is going to get the win. At the last moment, contact was made, and the U.S. with a bump and run to get to the championship. What a move by the United States, and they have looked really comfortable in this tournament. They haven't done so well recently, but the U.S. very comfortable here today, and they're into the finals. And they'll get either Colombia or Brazil. Brazil right now in the lead. There's Colombia. They're making contact, and they're stopping, and you're going to have to abort it. Yep, they're going to abort this run of the competition as both marbles stopped. And that might add to some bad blood between these teams now. They'll go again. Colombia on the left, Brazil on the right. Contact made a little bit. Colombia starting to struggle. More contact, and now Colombia takes the lead. Colombia will get down to the funnel first. Brazil is slowing. Brazil is in some trouble. Now they're going to get down. Nearly stopping, almost came to a halt. And Brazil nearly cost themselves a chance at the championship. But they are still behind. It is Colombia in the third funnel. Brazil in funnel number 2. Colombia down to 4. Brazil is to 3. Now they're both in 4. Here comes Brazil, and they're going to make the pass down to the final funnel. Great move and a great comeback by Brazil. Can they finish it off, or will it be Colombia with the comeback again? Nope, it's Brazil that gets the win. That was max effort the entire time. And so we'll get Brazil against the United States, but first the appetizer to the big entree. It'll be Vietnam against Colombia. Both of these teams losing in the funnels. Both had leads at points in their semifinal matches. And they nearly stopped again. Boy, Colombia is just going after other marbles. They are in funnel 3, so they've got the lead. Funnel 2, and now funnel 3 is where Vietnam resides, and Colombia down to funnel 4. 2 more to go. Colombia has the lead. There goes Vietnam. Now the speed picks up, and will a collision happen? Vietnam with a pass. Vietnam is going to medal. They finish in third. And the come from behinds continue, as Vietnam will get third place. And you have to know that the United States and Brazil were both watching very intently. As you see their cheering sections, the flag of the United States waving above the crowd as they look for their second win. Brazil has had a lot of success. They try to continue it. U.S. on the left, Brazil on the right. Right now it is the United States in the lead. Now Brazil takes that lead back. The U.S. slowing a little bit. Brazil trying to largen their lead before they get to the funnels, and they already got through funnel 1. The U.S. still yet to get to the funnels. Now they're in their first funnel. Brazil is down to funnel 3. The United States is going to have to make very quick work. They are trying to even themselves back up. They're both in funnel 3 now. And look at the U.S. They've got the inside line, and the United States takes the pass and the lead. U.S. down to funnel 4. Brazil is now in funnel 4. Brazil is going to pass them back. Down to the final funnel. It's the U.S. who has the inside line. It's the U.S. that has the win. With a time of 43 seconds even, they pass up Brazil, and there's a couple of lead changes in the final moments as the United States gets the championship win. They'll take the gold. Silver goes to Brazil. What a matchup. What a tournament for the United States. They dominate the tournament. In the first couple of rounds, it wasn't close. In the third round against Vietnam, who ends up coming in third there, they had to do a come from behind and then a big come from behind in the comeback win against Brazil. First place to the United States. Congratulations to them as they ran probably their best tournament that we have seen for them here on Marble Fubeca. They had a ton of success here with the grid and the funnels. Went through those funnels extremely quickly, and so it allowed them to have a lot of success in this tournament and ultimately give themselves a tournament win. So the congratulations to the United States. They get the win. Second place belongs to Brazil, and third place belongs to Vietnam. So until next time, I'm Rick O'Shea, and this has been MSPN's coverage of Marble Fubeca.